The topic is measures of central tendency. Okay. So if a huge amount of data is given to you, let us consider there are 50 students in a class and the marks of 50 students in accountancy is given to you. How you are going to remember those marks? It's very difficult. So instead, if a single digit is given to you, then you will be able to remember, or you may be able to form an analysis out of that figure. For example, let us take the marks scored by 10 students in the subject accountancy is given. And the marks goes like this. First student he gets 80 out of 100. Second student he gets 75. Third one scores 60. Fourth student gets 55. Fifth student gets 82. Sixth student gets 80. Seventh student gets 78. Eighth one will get 75. Ninth one 65. And 10th student he gets 85. So this is the marks scored by 10 students in the subject accountancy. So what you will be able to say by seeing this data? You cannot say anything. So let us add up these marks. 5, 10, 15, 23, 25, 30, 35, 13, 20, 26, 33, 41, 49, 54, 60, 67, 75. So 755 is the total marks scored by 10 students in the subject accountancy. So what will be the average then? Average marks scored by 10 students will be equal to 75.5. So now you will be able to understand something, that is, on an average a student in the class will be able to score 75.5 marks in the subject accountancy. Okay. So what we have done, we have made an attempt to find a single figure which would describe the whole of figures in the group. That is what we call it as measures of central tendency or averages. Okay. Then what is measures of central tendency or averages? So according to Clark and Secretary, it is an attempt to find a single figure which can describe the whole of figures. The whole of figures. So here we see we have taken only the marks of 10 students. Imagine there are 100 students in a class. Then how to remember the marks of each student and what decision you can take out of it? It's very difficult. When the number of items under study goes on increasing, the data becomes complicated and it becomes difficult to understand. Instead, if you get one figure which would describe the whole of figures in the given data, then you will be able to form a decision. You can understand the complex data being simplified. So that is the purpose of what? Measures of central tendency. So what do you mean by measures of central tendency? It's also called as averages. That means you are finding one single figure which would describe the
Whole
whole of figures. Now let us see what are the uses or functions of these averages. Why we need these averages? What is the purpose? Okay. So first one is functions of averages. So why we need these averages? The first one, to understand the complex data. Understand the complex data. So what is complex data?
Raw
The
facts.
data which you find it difficult to understand. For example, if you I have already told you, if you think there are 100 students in a class, the marks of 100 students are the heights of 100 students, the performance of the 100 students. You cannot make a meaning out of the data, huge data. In that case, you need to simplify it.
Yes.
So, averages helps you to simplify the data which you can understand easily. That is the one function. The second one, to facilitate comparison of the data. Comparison. For example, here you have taken the marks of the subject accountancy. So we know now average mark a student can score is 75.5. So what you can do is you take other subjects. So you may take economics or you may take statistics. You find out what
The
is
average
the average mark that can be scored by a student in other subjects. So you can compare, and after comparison it may help you to take decision. So what decision? How to improve the performance of the student. Whether your performance is better in other subjects or below that. If it is below, then how to improve the performance. And if it is good, how to maintain it further. Okay. So to help in decision making. To help decision making. Then, to establish mathematical relationship. To establish mathematical relationship. Okay. Now we have taken this information, that is the marks scored by 10 students. So these are independent variables and we have found out the average. So this average is based on the data what is given. So this is the dependent variable. So we have established a relationship, that is dependent variable average is based on the independent variable, that is marks scored by the students. Now, if any of the marks of these students is changed, the dependent variable will also change. So, these are some of the functions or the purpose for which we require
Measures of
averages.
central tendency.
Next is, what are the different averages or measures of central tendency we use? Okay. The different measures of central tendency what we use, one is arithmetic mean, or it is simply called mean. Then we have median, third one mode, fourth harmonic mean, and geometric mean. Okay. So these are the usual averages what we use for our calculations. Let us take the first one. That is arithmetic mean or mean. So arithmetic mean or mean is calculated by dividing the total sum of all the items in the group by the number of items. Okay, that is obtained. We use bar x to mean arithmetic mean, that will be calculated by dividing the sum of all the items divided by number of
items.
items in the group. Or else sum of the observations divided by
Number of observations.
So mean is equal to sum of all the observations divided by number of observations. So under mean we have two types. One is simple mean and the second one is weighted. Simple average and weighted average. Weighted average. Okay. So let us take the first one, simple average. So how to calculate the simple average? So now first one, simple average. So we have different types of data as we have studied in the previous statement, that is individual observations are individual series,
Discrete.
discrete series and
Continuous series.
series. Now first let us take a problem on individual series. Okay. Okay. And the individual series, let us consider a small problem. Let us take the height of 5 students in a class. It is like this: 150 centimeters, 160, 165, 170, 175 centimeters. So now let us calculate the average height of 5 students in that particular class. What we need to do? We have
Total.
to sum of these items. So mean is equal to sum of all the items divided by number of items is equal to 150 plus 160 plus 165 plus 170 plus 175 divided by number of items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 1. $820 total divided by 5 is equal to let us check. 5 plus 5, 10, 7, 15, 20, 26, 31, 32, 8. So the average height of students sample of 5 students. So their average height is 184 centimeters. So this is how we calculate mean for individual observations. Okay, the total is 820. The number of students is 5. So their average height is 164 centimeters.
Start.
Okay. Let us move on to the second method of calculating simple mean or simple average, that is discrete series. So under discrete series we have fixed value and also frequency. So let us consider X is the marks scored by the students in economics and F is the number of students. So now there are students who have scored marks like 50, 60. Let us see. Marks scored in economics 50 marks. The number of students scored 50 marks is 5. 70, there are 3 students. 80, there are 2 students. 90, there are 3 students. 95, there are 2 students. So these are the marks for number of students. So now how to calculate this? We have to take the sum of x and f. So that is x into f. So 50 into 5,
250.
250, 70 into 3, 210, 80 into 2, 160, 90 into 3, 270, 95 into 2, 190. So we will sum up the x into f, xf. So that will be equal to let us check once again. 5, 6, 12, 19, 28, 2, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8,
10.
10, 9, 16, 22, 23, 28, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. This is the total marks scored. Now, what is the number of students n? That is equal to 5, 8, 10, 13, 15. So, this is the marks scored by 50 students. So, we have to find out the mean. Mean is equal to sum of f into x divided by n. That is equal to 1080 divided by 50 is equal to 15 sevens are
75.
balance is 30. 15 twos are 30. So this is the average marks scored by the student